What's up, Bro-rittos? Carnae Assada here, and welcome back to Skyrim. So last episode we went and found some eggs, and I still want to yell that dude off a cliff, but we'll worry about that later. So let's go ahead and find out from Inigo what's going on with this whole deal here.
Good job getting those eggs, my friend. This Langley fellow may be a bit rude and gruff, but he's on our side.
Yeah,
He gave me these.
sure.
He found my father's journal, can you believe it? He also gave me 2 books he's written about his search for me. They contain a lot of information about how important I am. They are very good books, but also sad. Apparently, I have my own prophecy. If you want to hear more about it, I'll tell you what I know. Langley says we are going to save the world.
Is that so?
That is, of course, unless you think we have something better to do.
No, I'm interested. Tell me about it.
I will tell you what I know.
What is the prophecy exactly?
Okay, the Inigo prophecy. Somewhere out there in the world, there is a very nasty being gathering its strength. If left unchecked, it will grow until its evil influence burns away all that is good in this world. It has appeared in Langley's dreams for many years, often as a gigantic figure striding through the land, leaving nothing but pain, anguish, and death in its wake. He calls it the Doomstrider. In the same dream, he sometimes sees a handsome blue Khajiit defeat the menace with his help. He calls this fellow the Champion. That is me, my friend. Much of Langley's prophecy is hazy, and he says that sometimes his dreams show more than one possible outcome. But now he and I have finally met, he believes we stand a good chance of preventing much suffering.
Alright, well, what are some of the details that Langley told you?
What details can I help you with?
What about the Doomstrider?
Not much, I'm afraid. Langley is the man to ask about that. All I know is that I am destined to fight whatever or whoever it is. I hope you will be at my side when the time comes, my friend. Of course, I will do my best to keep this from interfering with my debt to you.
I'm with you on this. Don't worry about the debt. There's no debt.
It warms my heart to hear you say that, my friend. With your help, I know I can finally put some good back into this world.
So what about the books that Langley gave you?
They are called In Search of a Champion and Da Vinci's Journal. My father wrote the journal, and Langley wrote In Search of a Champion. Langley's books contain the story of his search for me, and a few tales about Fergus and I. The journal is my father's personal account of our upbringing. In my opinion, the books are informative and quite moving.
What have you learned about your past?
Like all Khajiit, my physical characteristics were probably determined by the moons at my birth. I seem to be the product of a very rare celestial alignment that only occurs briefly, every few hundred years or so. In the backward village where I was born, a blue child was seen as a bad moon omen. I would have been sacrificed if my birth mother had not smuggled Fergus and I away.
Was Fergus in danger too?
We were not identical, but we were twins. Perhaps his life was forfeit by association. Whatever the case, I like to think that my birth mother could not bear the idea of separating us.
If he was your twin, why wasn't he blue?
I can only guess that there was enough time between our births for the moons to shift. Langley thinks the alignment that produced me may only last for a few moments. I am incredibly unique, my friend.
Tell me about it. Can I ask you something else?
What would you like to know?
Tell me about this Langley guy before I go yell him off a cliff.
He is interesting.
Oh, okay. Good to know. How do his visions work?
Langley has dreams that often come true. He usually foresees the beginning, the middle, or the end of a future event, but never all three. So he may know that a man at the market will get into a fight, but he won't know why. Or he will see a dead man at the market, but not know how he died. To make matters worse, he sometimes sees 2 or more possible endings. Until we met, he couldn't be sure that we ever would. He is understandably relieved.
That doesn't sound very reliable. Tell me about his search for you.
Ever since I appeared in his dreams, he has been looking for me. All he knew in the beginning was that the champion was Khajiit, avoided death at an early age, and had blue fur. He finally heard about a remote village among the shifting sands of elsewhere that ritualistically sacrifices any child born among their number whose fur is blue. He deduced that the champion was likely a blue child from this village that somehow escaped their fate. He set off in search of the village, but on the way he found Riverhold and heard about me. This was a few years after Fergus and I left to find our fortune though, so he began tracking us. Along the way he heard tales about my brother and I. He even collected mementos from our endeavors. You can see a few of them over there on those shelves by the chest. After finding Fergus lying among the remains of our camp, he lost track of me. The years went by, and he grew weary. He eventually returned here, and employed a group of adventurers to continue the search for me, and to look for any signs of the Doomstrider. He also paid a conjuration mage to concoct a summon Inigo spell. My mind vibrations were the result of him trying unsuccessfully to use the spell.
Can I ask you something else?
What would you like to know?
What happens next?
We wait for Langley to receive more information either from his sources or his dreams. When he hears something new, he will let us know.
Okay, how will he contact us?
He will use the summon spell to vibrate my mind again. My mind is not looking forward to it.
I've heard enough for now, Inigo.
Okay.
Alright. So, Langley.
Can't you see I'm busy? What do you need?
I need to talk to you. Can I ask you something?
If you must.
I want to know more about you.
I'm an intelligent and very complex man. Try being more specific.
God, I hate you, Langley. Tell me about your past.
I'm a native of Skyrim, but I moved to Cyrodiil in my teens. I had a talent for magic, and I was packed off to the Imperial City on an apprenticeship. I never joined a guild or anything. I received my training from an angry little man called Barton Barrius. Bit of a pyromaniac, but a decent sort, really. He never used his powers against humans, wouldn't hear of it, but he enjoyed burning everything else. Anyway, he taught me a great deal about destruction magic, alchemy, and even how to hone my visions. He imbued in me a thirst for knowledge, and I soon began researching a variety of subjects outside the discipline of magic. When I returned to Skyrim, I traveled the hills, making gold by predicting the weather for farmers and such, but my main focus soon became science.
What is science?
It's like magic, but more reliable. It's all about systematically building knowledge and collecting testable explanations. In short, it is the study of everything.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. When did you start getting these visions?
When I was very young, after I managed to convince people they were real, my father called them a gift. Most of the time, they're a bloody curse. For instance, I knew my mother was going to leave my father before she did. It's hard for a 9-year-old to know what to do with that information.
I suppose so, actually. What do you do here in this cabin?
I write and I experiment. I research and observe. I spend my days mapping out theories and ideas that strengthen humanity's intellectual grasp. I may not be very well known here, but my studies have earned me good standing among certain more rational factions of society.
I see. Well, could I ask you something else?
I suppose.
Well, we've already gotten this far. Tell me about the paintings. It's a little weird.
What can I tell you about them?
Why? Are they images from your visions?
Yes, I discovered my love of art in the Imperial City. Now I mainly use my talents to depict what I see in my dreams. I paint them as soon as I wake up. I find that locking a dream in place in the form of a picture often lends further insight.
That's not a bad idea. Where do you get the materials?
I make my own. I mix various ingredients with a little oil to create paint. And I've discovered a skeever's tail makes quite a decent brush. Unorthodox, but functional. The ability to improvise is useful when one is so far from civilization.
No, you're not that far off from Dawnstar. Well, let me ask you something else.
I suppose.
So, tell me about this place.
What do you want to know?
What's with the statue outside?
I believe a group of Talos worshippers used to live here. I'm not sure where they went, but I fear they may have suffered an attack of some sort. When I first arrived, there were a few collapsed shacks and a destroyed stable, too. This is the only building that was intact. I needed to re-thatch the roof and fix areas of the walkway, but other than that, it was in tip-top condition.
What about the items on the shelves by the table?
They are relics of Inigo's past. The skulls are all that is left of a coven of witches he and his brother destroyed. The club belonged to the first giant he killed, and the big helmet at the top was once the property of Browulf the Broad, a fearsome tyrant. That one was a near thing, but Inigo and Fergus dispatched him in the end. The stories behind each item are in the books I gave Inigo.
I'll have to read those at some point. Do you just live here by yourself? Crazy old man?
Yes, I find that stupidity can be contagious. To maintain one's intellectual prowess, it is important to keep one's distance from society as a whole.
As you mix the air.
Of course, this does not apply to Inigo, and since he likes you so much, I'll suffer your company for as long as he wants you around.
How nice of you. Alright, let me ask you one more
I
thing.
suppose.
Can you tell me my future?
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. Whenever I try to force a prediction, the results are usually extremely vague.
Well, that makes sense.
My more accurate visions come to me in the form of dreams, though even then they show possibilities, not definite outcomes.
Have you had any dreams involving me?
No, not yet anyway. I occasionally get flashes of Mr. Dragonfly, but that probably doesn't mean very much. Over time, Inigo's fascination with the little fellow has obviously seeped into my dreams. I wouldn't feel too left out, though. If you have a place in all this, I'm sure you'll show up eventually.
Good point. Alright, well let me know a little bit more about the prophecy and then I'll leave you alone lately.
The Inigo prophecy. Yes. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Doomstrider.
I'm horrified by how little I actually know on the subject. I think it's a human, or at least I believe it walks in a human form. My dreams and visions are often metaphorical, so it's hard to discern exactly what it is, or the nature of the destruction it'll bring.
Langley, are you aware that you are slowly getting further and further away from the thing you're actually trying to do? Anyway, your vision of the Doomstrider is metaphorical?
Yes, I hope so. I'm inclined to believe that the images I see are not literal. The destruction I witness could be my mind's way of translating any great catastrophe. Perhaps the Doomstrider is an evil man who gains great power. Perhaps it's not a man at all. Maybe it represents famine or disease, or even a wicked idea that infects every mind it touches. That said, considering Inigo is the champion, and his skill set revolves around killing, I think it is more likely that the Doomstrider has a corporeal form.
That makes sense. In your visions, how does Inigo defeat the Doomstrider?
That is unclear to me. Perhaps now Inigo and I are known to one another, my dreams will offer up a clearer picture. I'll be sure to keep him posted.
Understood. What does the Doomstrider look like in your dreams?
There are two dreams. In both, I see a towering, dead-minded, red-eyed monstrosity walking the world, leaving sorrow, death, and despair in its wake. The very gods are powerless to intervene. In one vision, I see them watch in horror as Nirn decays and rots.
What happens in the other vision?
That one is a little better. It starts out in much the same way, but this time the champion is there to stop the Doomstrider. I see a baby blue Khajiit elude death before his first birthday. I see him grow into a great warrior. I see him and I talking in earnest, and I see the gods rejoice as he defeats the demon.
Alright.
I suppose.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Farewell.
Hey, Inigo. How's your head feel now?
It is still a little tender. Oh, that reminds me. You should ask Langley about the summon spell that has been causing my mind vibrations. He has a spare copy. Maybe he will let you give it a go. My mind is not keen on the idea, but I think a spell like that could be useful, my friend.
Okay.
If you need anything else, just ask.
Will do. Let me talk to Langley here real quick.
I must warn you, I'm recording this conversation for posterity.
Alright, that's fine.
I don't know. Can you?
Oh, really? Did you just do that? May I, asshole? Anyway, tell me about the Summon Inigo spell.
It's rubbish. Tosh. Hardly works at all. All it seems to do is give poor Inigo vague directions to the summoner, and a headache.
Maybe you're doing it wrong.
I followed the instructions dutifully. There's no reason it shouldn't work. No one knows Inigo better than I do.
Are you sure about that? I mean, what does that even have to do with anything?
The conjuration mage who created the spell told me that as long as I was Inigo's true friend, I should be able to get it to work. It's clearly broken. I'm the greatest ally Inigo has.
I wouldn't say that. I'm pretty sure I'm Inigo's greatest ally.
How egocentric. You've just met him, relatively speaking. I've been tracking him most of my life.
Tracking and working with.
If the spell doesn't work for me, it won't work for anyone.
I call
Isn't that right,
bullshit.
Inigo?
I think you should let him try it.
Exactly. What? Why?
Langley, I am sure we are great allies in the making, but my friend here and I have a more immediate bond.
What do you mean? Oh, I didn't realize you were an item.
That's not it.
Not that kind of bond. We have traveled together. We have enjoyed sharing our views on many subjects. We have fought bravely side by side. I have placed my life in his hands. What I'm trying to say is, we are friends. Go on, hand over a copy of the spell. I am the only one who will suffer if it goes wrong.
I see. I won't argue with you, even though it's a waste of time. I will do as you ask.
Thank you. What is the worst that can happen?
You don't want to know. If we're going to do this, we must be scientific. Inigo, you stay here, and your friend and I will go outside. Once we're on the path, I'll give you the spell, and you can try unsuccessfully to teleport Inigo to us. Stare vacantly if you understand.
Durr.
Good luck, my friend. I will wait and brace myself.
Okay, you can quit the vacant gazing routine now. Come on, we should head outside and get this over with.
That's some fourth wall bullshit right there. That's fantastic. Everybody loves breaking the fourth wall. Alright. Come on, Langley. Out with it.
Right, let's get started. Here is the
Alright, cool. I got some new spell. Oh.
Inconceivable! Just you wait, I bet your hands explode when you cast it.
Oh, that's cool.
What? How did you do that?
Whoa, it worked. I am outside.
I don't know what to say.
Let
Did
us
it work?
test its range. Try to place me farther away.
Okay.
Do it again. This is amazing. My friend, that was wonderful. Did you see? One moment I was inside, casually not tasting Langley's cooking, then whoosh. I saw your face, and I was out here. It was amazing.
How does it feel?
It feels good. No mind vibrations at all. It is like a brief warm embrace, followed by a pleasant floaty sensation. There is something else.
What?
When you summoned me, I felt like I had a choice. That I could choose not to go if I didn't want to. This is a fantastic tool, my friend.
Yeah, it
I
is.
knew you could do it. You are outstanding.
No.
Observation. The subject seems to be physically unaffected by the spell. He is, however, exhibiting poor character judgment.
You are a funny fellow, Langley. Poor character judgment, my tail. My friend here did a fantastic
Inigo?
job getting the spell to
Where are
work.
you going?
Note, the subject is clearly delusional.
The subject does not sound nearly as good as the champion. Did I offend you in some way?
Inigo?
I hope not. Without
Are you done?
we never would have gained such a wonderful spell. I hope you know we are grateful for all you have done.
It's not you, Inigo. It's him. The
Oh?
spell shouldn't work with just anyone. It was supposed to form a link between us. This idiot broke it.
Oh.
I think that maybe the spell works because of the link my friend and I already share. You should not take it personally. We three are a team now. We need each other and should not be fighting amongst ourselves.
You and I are a team. All this
Inigo,
all we can
are you
do is
disappearing
collect
again?
eggs. How useful is that going to be when we take on the Doomstrider?
Excuse
That is
you.
only one of my friend's many talents. Trust me, you could not wish for a more worthy ally.
Yeah, what Inigo said.
We shall see. I hope you're right. I'm getting cold. I think I'll head inside. Feel free to make yourself at home and stay as long as you like. When you leave, I'll be sure to contact you with my lesser version of the spell if I hear anything new.
Thank you, Langley. I am glad we finally met.
I am too. I can see you're every bit the champion this world needs. I'll see you soon. I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn earlier. I'm sure you don't mean to be annoying.
Hey, chill. The apologies accepted, though. Inigo's right. We need to not be going cutthroat at each other right now.
Yes, I agree. Please don't take anything I say to heart. I know I can be insufferable at times. Right. Goodbye for now.
I am glad you are giving Langley a chance, my friend. I believe he means well, even
Over here,
if he
Inigo.
is not very good at showing it. Okay, let us get back to it.
Are you still falling, buddy? Do you need help? You want to go back upstairs? Poof.
I guess being a werewolf must give you unimaginable strength. Well, that's okay. I can handle you getting a bit rough with me. Not in that way, of course.
Sophia, do you say anything but innuendos, or is that just kind of like your thing? Check this out. Oof. Inigo,
Yes?
why are you not
Did you
poofing?
want something?
Inigo, poof.
Hey.
There we go. Why is it not letting me?
I'm glad you are
Oh, there we
giving
go.
Lanley a chance, my friend. I believe he means well, even if he is not very good at showing it.
I really wanted to knock his block off.
I do not blame you. He is quite a character. But accepting his apology helped smooth things over, I think. Anyway, we solved the mystery of my vibrating brain, and you got a powerful new spell. A spell they do not teach at any college, I'll wager. I am still trying to digest everything Langley told me. There is a lot to sort through.
No kidding.
For now, we get on with our lives until he contacts us again. I have a feeling we are at the beginning of a fantastic adventure, my friend.
I think so too.
Yes, I'm listening.
I'm not talking to you.
Teleportation is warming.
Here you go. Wee! How far can we send him? I assume as long as we're pointing at the ground, we're okay, right? Right? Oh my. Quite the range on this thing. Hey! How you doing down there? You doing alright? Anyway, let's go up here. I think this will be a awesome setting for the end of this video. So anyway, I have been Carnae, this has been Skyrim, and I will see you in the next episode. Adios.